Alright guys, Man City have just beaten Brentford by 2 goals to 0, and it was a good performance by Man City. It's what you expect from them at the Etihad, really, to be honest. Like if they're dropping points against Brentford, I think they'd be disappointed with that. Brentford weren't that bad though. For the first 40 minutes of the game, they were really strong defensively, and City didn't really create that many clear-cut chances in the first half up till the penalty. It definitely was a penalty though. It was just a poor lapse in concentration from Mats Roerslev. Raheem Sterling, it was really smart from Sterling, to be fair. He noticed that Roerslev, I'm not sure how you say it, had throughout the first half been constantly getting really close on Sterling, really tight, and he had fouled him a couple of times in the first half. And what Sterling did was he sort of played it into his own hands, if that makes sense. He knew that Roerslev was going to dive in when Sterling was trying to take him on, and what Sterling did was at the very last moment, just before Roerslev gets to the ball, Sterling sticks his foot between the man and the ball, and obviously then it's a foul. And if Sterling goes over and the referee points to the spot, and brilliantly taken penalty from Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez's goal scoring this season has gone massively under the radar. I think I didn't know he was on 16 goals now. That is some tally for Man City, and it says a lot that that's over 5 times as many goals as Jack Grealish has scored for them. But I understand a lot of that is down to the fact that Mahrez is generally the penalty taker for Man City when he's on the pitch. But he still is such a great player, Riyad Mahrez, and I don't think he ever gets the credit he deserves. Like when we talk about the great modern day Man City players at the moment, we talk about Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva, Rodri, Raheem Sterling as well, Ruben Diaz, João Cancelo. I don't think Riyad Mahrez really gets that recognition, but he is so consistent, or has been so consistent for Man City so far. I understand his first season might not have been great, maybe his second as well, but recently he's been so good and so consistent and reliable for Man City, which I mean is great for Man City to have in their team. Brentford did have a good chance towards the end of the first half, though straight after Man City scored the penalty. Rico Henry managed to capitalise on John Stones slipping and played a quick 1-2. I can't remember who it was with. It might have been Godos up front. Henry sort of got it stuck under his feet, and he sort of produced a tame shot, which ended up with a collision that nearly hurt Ederson. Well, it probably did, but it didn't hurt him enough for him to get subbed off, thankfully. Brentford weren't terrible. That's the point I want to get across, really. I thought it was more of a case of Man City being really good. And I really liked what Guardiola went for with his team today in terms of playing João Cancelo on the left, which, I mean, he's just as good on the left as the right, in my opinion. He's not... His game's not about going round the outside and whipping the ball in. It's more about coming into almost like a left central midfield role at times. He doesn't really ever play as a fullback. He's more of... It's hard to describe how he plays. It's like between a left central midfielder, a defensive midfielder, and a left midfielder. But he's not a wing back, sort of. He doesn't play that style. And also I thought it was really smart of Pep Guardiola to go with John Stones today, because over Kyle Walker, because John Stones, in the similar role to Cancelo, he can join in with midfield a bit and is really good in possession with the ball. But also, if Cancelo wants to push forward a bit, it means that Laporte can push over, Diaz can push over, and Stones can almost become a third centre-back. So that seemed to really work for Man City and was a really good idea from Pep Guardiola. But yeah, in the second half, Man City got their second goal through Kevin De Bruyne. It was a terrible error by David Raya. It almost looked like he became too comfortable with the ball, played a 1-2 with one of his defenders, and then all of a sudden a bit of pressure came from one of Man City's attackers, and he tried to make a dangerous pass. Raheem Sterling intercepted it. Sterling probably should finish it. Raya does quite well to save it, to be fair. But it falls to De Bruyne, and I mean, who else would you want in that situation if you're a Man City fan to slide it in between the post and the keeper and make it 2-0? But what I was really impressed with De Bruyne today was that, like, I haven't noticed from him in some time, was his sort of hunger and desire to help out defensively. He usually, you see it's Bernardo Silva who is like the scrappy one in the midfield, the one who tries to win the ball back, or the one who covers the most ground. And Rodri sort of plays that reserved defensive midfielder who's more there for keeping the ball and moving it on, rather than going out and trying to win every single ball. But it seemed De Bruyne was more focused on that over Bernardo Silva today. There were a lot of times where he was getting back and helping defensively, and he did really well. Bernardo Silva was quite quiet today, not trying to have a go at him or anything, but I just didn't notice he was playing at times. He was City's quietest player, which is unusual. What else? I thought Brentford maybe were missing Ivan Toney up front. I thought, although Godos played quite well, Canos struggled to get involved a bit, really. And Mbeumo, I'm just not sure about him as a player. He's still obviously very young. I think he's 22 or something. But he just doesn't seem to have that quality that's needed, I think, at this level. He's got pace, he's got strength, he's quite a powerful player. He's not a bad dribbler either, but his shooting just seems to be so poor every time I watch him. But yeah, I suppose you do have to give some credit to Brentford, really. They did keep City quiet. Well, not quiet, but like they kept City from looking like they were going to score for about 40 minutes in the first half, and kept the score down to 2-0. A lot of teams get battered at the Etihad Stadium. So yeah, fair play to Brentford on that. I thought all of Brentford's centre-backs played quite well today, especially Christopher Ajer. He had a very good game, as well as Ethan Pinnock. I think they've both been injured for periods this season, so that will help Brentford in having them two back. Rico Henry had a decent game as well on the left wing back role. He's a player who I really like when I watch him. But yeah, City have, just not slipped up again, which, I mean, as a Liverpool fan, I was kind of hoping for, I'm not going to lie. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.